Hello, everyone. Angela here for TNL Network. Um, I just want to start off by saying thank you all for joining us this evening. We are so thankful to have all of you for your continued support to the show, to all of the shows on our network. And now I'm going to try to read my script from my daddy's words. Okay. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. Bob and Spangle both have the night off because of travel. Bob's in Michigan and Spangle is in Italy. I think Spangle hasn't made it to Italy yet, but he's trying to get there. Tonight's TNL show, we have not one but two featured guests. One is a first-time guest to TNL, and the other is returning for more punishment. Oh my. You would think he would have learned his lesson from before. All joking aside, tonight's show will be about a project that is in the works for the Claus community, and I think we can all rally behind this one. This segment of tonight's show is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new, unique, and entertaining educational experience. This is Tuesday Night Live.
Hey, everybody. How are you? It's great to be here sitting in for Bob. Hey, tonight we're honored to have one of our TNL roadies filling in as my co host. So give it up for both Rob Wood and the sweet show producer, everyone's favorite, Angela Mack. I don't think so. Ex- Well, experience us on the bigger screen if you'd like, where the experience comes alive. You go to the Tuesday Night Live show, 1225, and that's on YouTube. So check us out there. You can put us on your big TV in your living room. Don't forget to watch and play Santa Central, Cherry Hill programs, trivia play or trivia replay, where you watch, pay attention to the TNL show. And then on Wednesday, May 27th, you'll visit Santa Central, Cherry Hill programs Facebook group where Christy will post a question. You got to be ready. You got to listen to the show tonight.
And you
Related
know,
to something that took place on the show here, talked about on the Tuesday Night Live. Answer correctly, and you could be a winner of some nice swag, merch, Santa Central cap, and Santa Central shirt. If you're not a member of Santa Central and Cherry Hill Programs Group, go there and join it right now and play. You'll have a bunch of fun. They're great people, and we appreciate them being part of TNL, also standing behind us and their support.
you know what? And they never did send out the promo today for that. So I really don't know for sure if we're going to do that tonight since my dad's traveling. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyhow, we want to thank Santa Central and Cherry Hill Programs for that. This might be a good time to mention that on the Stuff for Santa page, there's, if anybody would like to help Spangle get Jetta back to the U.S. This that he has got where he takes donations for his Santa trailer. If you'd like to help with their expenses for him traveling and going to the embassy and trying to get her back in the United States and be here for him, there's a link or a button on his Stuff for Santa page, and it will say donations, and that money that's donated tonight will go help them get her back and help for some of their travel expenses. If anybody'd like to help Spangle out,
Hey,
he's
for
always
heaven's
helping
sake,
all of us, so it's our time to give back.
let's do as much as we can to help Spangle and Jetta. Because just think about the fact that right now we're on the edge of an international incident. Spangle's in Italy. It could be dangerous.
All right. You know what?
Yeah.
Are we even live on Facebook? Because I cannot seem to find the link anywhere over here on my other computer. It looks like we are because I see my buddy John and my buddy Kane and my buddy AJ, all my buddies there.
Deanna, are you watching
Anyway.
us? I see Deanna on there. If you could write in the notes there, in the comments, do you see us on? Are you watching us on Facebook or YouTube?
Oh, hey, we're on
I'm
Facebook.
on
I just
Facebook,
checked, Angela.
Nancy. Deanna sees you on Facebook. We're good.
Can
We're good. This is
somebody can
live TV, so you never know what will happen.
it's not
Well, the
coming
first
across
half.
my feed anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you
Anyways,
ready
let's
for me
hear.
to move on?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The first half of the TNL Show trivia is brought to you by Santa's 2026, hosted by Spangle in the picturesque Ozark Mountains, Branson, Missouri, where fun and education meet. All right, we're back, and trivia question tonight is the St. Nicholas Institute is an annual seminar and training program established to promote the ideals and example of St. Nicholas, who was the founder. A. St. Nicholas. B. St. Is it Priestus, Father Marquis, and Pope Urban?
And for your bonus question, what year was the St. Nicholas Institute founded? A. 1087 AD, B. 410 AD, C. 1099 AD, or D. 2011 AD. Remember, you can win the trivia that's associated with the scholarship drawings as many times as you can, no limits. And when you put your answer in, make sure you put the answer and the letter. Good luck.
We'll have two winners. One's a drawing for Cornerstones, and one's a drawing for SOS, School of Santas. Okay. Angela, is there? Yeah, I think we've been through that. I guess we can. You got the question up. Okay. Hey, we're really glad to see everybody tonight, and glad you joined Rob and I. Rob, what's the weather like out your way? Just out of curiosity.
It's hot
It's
and it's
hot.
humid. It's
Well,
Ozark in the summertime. That's what it is.
yeah. Well, it was nice enough here. We got the yard mowed, so I'm happy about that. All the rain we had earlier last week, so I mean it was pretty messy. And so
Yeah,
I would encourage everybody to share and like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us, and our other broadcasts and podcasts that are here during the week, and those will all be listed at the end of the show. So we appreciate all your support, and I mentioned that also, if there are any ladies out there, I understand there are only a few, like 4 seats left at the Wondrous Woman of Christmas Society that's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, the end of June. So if there are any ladies out there, I am understanding that that is not one you want to miss. It's going to be a lot of exciting things that take place while they're there. And Bob and Rob and Martin and myself will be headed up there on the 22nd. Is that right, Rob?
That's what it looks like. Yep.
And
Heading up, ready to
we'll
set
be
up.
up there all week, and we'll dob in with our producer Angela Mack, who is we're gracious that she's willing to let us get in on there and give you a little bit of live footage from it. But we would encourage you. I don't think you ladies want to miss out on what's going to happen there. That's all I can really say at this point. And I'm excited, Rob. What about you?
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to doing this. This is kind of a new event. This is going to be a neat thing for us to do, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Liz and Rachel and everybody have come up with for this event.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are we ready to move on, Angela? Okay. Tonight on Tuesday Night Live, we welcome two Santas whose hearts for service goes far beyond the red suit. One in Central Texas and the other in southeastern Oklahoma. They have stepped into one of the most meaningful legacy projects in the entire profession. The resurrection of the St. Nicholas Institute, originally founded by Father Marquis, Father Joseph Marquis. Together, they're working to preserve Father Marquis' vision, honor his legacy, and bring the Institute into a new chapter for today's Claus community.
For years, the Institute was one of the few places where Santas and Mrs. Clauses could receive training rooted not only in performance, but in the historical and spiritual life of Nicholas. The Institute was originally founded by Father Joseph Marquis. Whoop, I messed that up, didn't I? In the spiritual life of St. Nicholas himself, when Father Marquis had to suspend the program, many feared that this unique blend of history, ministry, and Santa excellence might fade away.
Please help me give a warm welcome with a huge round of applause for Santa Dave Thomas and Santa Jim Langley. Okay, well, let's go back to the video.
Since 1948, one suit defined Santa. Designed by Charles W. Howard and worn by the world-famous Santa Claus School. Worn for presidents, movies, parades, and the most magical moments in families' lives. This is not a costume, but finely tailored, hand-sewn clothing made in the USA. With expert cleaning, restoration, and storage services available, Santa and Company, LLC, makes Santa magical.
We're gonna get it together, y'all. I promise. Just bear with us.
We're having fun. This is live TV. We're having a ball. Thanks, Angela.
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing
Hey,
good.
we're all having fun. Are we not, Rob? If we wouldn't be on here having fun, we wouldn't be here, would we?
I tell you what, we'll be on target and synced perfectly 5 minutes after the show ends.
Right now, it's time to get it together. Okay, now let's welcome our two fabulous guests that we have. Are y'all ready for this one? All right.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Jim Langley and Dave Thomas. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. There. Welcome, Dave and Jim. How are you guys tonight? We're excited to hear the story, the mission, and the heart behind this revival, what it means in the next generation of Santas and Mrs. Clauses.
Well, thank you, Scott. We're excited to embark upon this adventure that we've been blessed with, and it means a lot to most of us that attended, that we've been in contact with. I've gotten a lot of notes already back about how people are excited that the tradition, the education, and the retreat will carry on in future generations.
What first inspired you to take this, maybe I should say, challenge on, or this revival of the St. Nicholas Institute?
Well, I think all of us that were able to attend the the meeting that we had last month, St. Nicholas Institute had meant a world of difference for most of us. And it definitely given us a focus, a, a mission, a ministry, and a brotherhood and sisterhood of folks that are some of the strongest group of people that I've ever come across. And some of them are some of my best friends today, as before when I got there, I didn't know any of them.
So Dave answered a little bit of this, Jim, but I kind of want to ask you also what we all know it's important to resurrect the St. Nicholas Institute. But why do you feel it's important?
Well, you can get something from the St. Nicholas Institute that you cannot get from other classes. I mean, you guys know I'm associated with you and Bob at North Pole Cornerstone, but the St. Nicholas Institute gives you a grounding in the actual history of St. Nicholas and in the faith that St. Nicholas had. And it also teaches you to go out boldly and to use this as a witness uh, to help spread the story of Christmas, the actual real story of what happened. And so I wanted to go for several years. And then when I got the opportunity to go, after I went, I said I would be back every year. And I have been. And I met some nice folks like Dave. And before we go anywhere, I want to shout out to Santa Larry Trover because he put our stuff together in April to get us all back together where we could start this mission, which Dave has the lead on.
Okay.
And I think the other thing, Rob, is that the thing that really differs us from all of the other schools is that it is an actual retreat.
Yeah.
Where we are staying in a place that virtually not a lot of phone service, no TV, no radio. It is time for us to learn, reflect, spend some time with our own thoughts, and it helps focus us for that busy season that is right ahead of us.
And as Dave said, it's a total immersion into the study of St. Nicholas and into all the things that you're going to need as Santa. I mean, 4 days of total immersion.
So since it was discontinued, what was it, last year, the year before?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. What does the continuation of St. Nicholas Institute look like now?
Well, Father Marquis retired from the priesthood, and he was funding it and staffing it by himself, doing all of the work. And I can tell you for a fact, and I'm sure Jim can bring in on this, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
He's tired. He's done a great job, and he has passed the torch on. So what does it look like? Well, we are dead set on keeping the same mission and vision as was set, using much of the format that can be sustainable for the future institutes. We want to make sure that the history is strong and true and doesn't fall into all of the myths that are out there about St. Nicholas, because a lot of times, well, there were actually two St. Nicholases. St. Nicholas of Myra, which is the one we talk about, and then there's another one that was in the 5th century, that St. Nicholas of Zion, and a lot of times their stories got intermixed. And so we want to make sure that the true stories are there and they're not embellished in a wrong way. We want people to have the real truth. All right.
Right.
We also want to make sure that we have the secular units that are going to help us become better rounded performers and be able to reach people in a way that meets them where they are, not force what it is on them. And then we want to have a rotating curriculum that helps keep it fresh and new and really emboldens people to come back and keep learning as to what the next level is.
Well, speaking to Jim before we decided that before we invited you on the show, when I was talking to Jim about, Jim really explained to me that this St. Nicholas Institute is the true history that we don't get in other schools. And I think that is a feather in you guys' cap for resurrecting it. And Jim has told me I don't have a choice, that I have to go this next year. So you'll
That's
get to
right.
meet me in person.
Yes. Matter of fact, I told Father Joe, that you would be there, Scott.
We're going to do our best to go with you. The creek don't rise. You know how that saying goes.
Well, we'll welcome you with open arms, because
I look
it's a
forward to it.
brotherhood that most people won't understand until they've experienced it.
Well, the thing that part of it is that, and I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, Angie, I'm sorry. But the part that a lot of people don't know is I am a Jewish Santa. And Father Marquis has never had a Jewish Santa attend. And I'm looking forward to making my mark and being the first one.
Well, Father Joe and I talked about that in April, and the St. Nicholas Institute is not just for Christian Santas, or not even for Catholic Santas. Matter of fact, I'm Southern Baptist, and the first time I went, I mentioned that to Father Joe, and he says, "Well, we will accept you Baptist in here," but it's to study and to make yourself a better Santa, and it doesn't matter what religion you are. Santa Claus is from the heart. And St. Nicholas gave because our Lord and Master gave, but at the same time, we are supposed to be open to all other denominations and all other religions. And as Dave said, Scott, you will be welcome with open arms.
I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to learning more of the true history and not just folklore. And I think that's what I'm understanding is St. Nicholas Institute is going to bring forward to everyone that attends. And those that don't, I think that you need to make plans to attend.
Well, that's just part of it. Learning about St. Nicholas is just part of it. And I'll turn it back over to Dave and let him expound on that.
Well, it's a full immersion, and it's, we do have more than Catholics there. Everyone thought it was because it's at a Catholic retreat center that you have to be Catholic. I'm not Catholic.
I'm not either.
We have a Lutheran pastor that is our music leader.
Yes.
We've had Methodist ministers, Lutheran ministers, pastors. As a matter of fact, Larry Trover is a pastor as well. Reverend Kenny out of Oklahoma City attended. So we've had, folks of a wide variety of faiths attend, because at the time when St. Nicholas lived, it was just one church. It wasn't
Exactly.
Catholic really yet. It wasn't,
No.
all the other variations. And we're talking, St. Nicholas's parents were educated by St. Paul. His uncle was educated by St. Paul, and that's who he ended up living with when his parents died. So that's what profoundly impacted him to go forth and give unconditionally to anyone and everyone.
Yep.
And that's what we want to bring to the Santa world is that heart, that mind, that behavior isn't a season, it's an everyday life experience.
As I've been listening to this, and I love the passion that you both bring to this project, and honestly, I'm pretty excited about the opportunity. But so, what were some of the first steps, Dave, that you and Jim took to begin looking into rebuilding the institute?
Well, I think Dave will tell you the first step one of the first steps we took was when I nominated him to do the 501c3 paperwork. Wasn't that nice of me, Dave?
It was lovely. Luckily, I've had experience doing that.
Nothing like being voluntold.
Well, I was ready to be voluntold anyway, because ever since the last institute that we had in 23, I had kept sending Father Marquis notes that, hey, I would love to help you continue this in any way possible. I've got some skill sets that I think would be hopefully beneficial to continue and carry on this great thing that he started. And we finally got him to meet with us. We had a retreat planning meeting, focus group. You could call it any number of words, but when we finally got down to brass tacks, Jim and I had both looked at each other and said, okay, it's time to go. Because we both had our own ideas of where we needed to go, and they coincided with each other pretty cleverly.
They did. They did. We were on, to use an old phrase, we were on the same sheet of music.
Yeah.
So
Singing the same, y'all sing in the same octave.
Right
Anyhow.
now, mine's very, very deep bass.
Will there be
But
differences between the old and the new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you want to elaborate on that some, or are we too early in the planning?
Well, actually, can I go, Dave?
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the things is a lot of stuff now. Father Marquis set everything up. He and Remy and
Father Patrick.
but yeah, Patrick. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name, and you know my family is Irish background. I couldn't think of Patrick, but all they worked together to develop everything together, and it was a lot of work. And Father Joe spent a lot of time setting it up. Well, now the way we're setting things up now, that is going to be done by committees. There will be numerous committees for all kinds of things. One of them will be to develop curriculum. It will be a lot of input. Well, everything will be input from the alumni of the St. Nicholas Institute. And so when you get onto the curriculum, what will it be? It will vary from year to year based upon the committee and what the committee does. So there will be a lot of changes even in everything. We're going to have committees for, what did we all say, Dave, for looking at AI and for using the internet and for doing the curriculum and for the awards. And we have
site selection, because we're looking
Yes.
at expanding it to other locations.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have been in touch with 14 different places where we could actually have it. There was 15 that I actually contacted. The 15th one was very excited about it, but then we realized it was 2.5 hours from a major airport. And I said, no, that doesn't meet our criteria, because we want to stay where any facility that we have will be within 30 to 45-minute drive from a major airport.
Oh, Jim, that actually kind of goes into my next question. So what have been some of the biggest challenges so far, and some of the biggest blessings?
Well, I can tell you the biggest challenge right now is the fact that we do not have a comprehensive list of everybody that's attended. And I've been digging through stacks of paper trying to find just rosters, and then having to go out and send Facebook messages or cruise through, different standard group pages to see if I can find some of these individuals that had attended, because Father Marquis had his computer hacked and lost a lot of stuff, which is kind of what prompted him to say maybe it's time to retire, because at 70 plus years old, dealing with a computer on a daily basis can sometimes be a headache.
Amen. And Jim, you were saying blessing wise went with the worship?
Just the blessing of being with other people who want to do this, who are interested in the real history of St. Nicholas. And there's so little that we actually know about the real St. Nicholas, and they get the two St. Nicholases confused. When you pick up a book on St. Nicholas, you will find oftentimes that the stories are merged, and it's hard to break them apart. But the fellowship you get when you go into the St. Nicholas Institute, and as we mentioned before, you're there, it's an immersive thing. Everybody is brothers and sisters, and it's a camaraderie between everybody that's there, not just those who are teaching the courses, but those who are taking the courses. Those who have been there, like Dave, for what, 9 years, Dave?
Only 7.
Only 7. Myself, who's been there for 5. Your fellowship between that and somebody who's just walking in the door for the very first time. It is a fellowship, it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood, and we welcome all and want all to learn to be a better Santa and to be accepting of others, uh, using the Father Joe's Noel as our background.
Great. I think y'all pretty much already answered the next question I had for y'all. The question was, what kinds of curriculum are you looking at? And I think you've kind of touched the icebergs on that. Was there anything else either one of y'all wanted to add to that?
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of material that we were handed that did not. You had to go back and read it, and a lot of people that I've talked to already said, "Are we gonna ever go over that stuff?" And yeah, there's a lot of material there. We would get a notebook, and it was basically a knowledge dump. And I want to go back and with our curriculum committee go, okay, let's spend some time looking at different pieces of this and not have to do it all in one year, but that's why you'll come back, because there's more to learn, more to delve into, and more fascinating stories that most people don't even know exist. So we're looking at those things. We're looking at Larry Trover has done an amazing job of putting together a
library. Yes,
that
fantastic.
is second. Well, it is second to one. Father Joffrey in Bari has probably the most extensive library of St. Nicholas material. But Larry has put together a pretty extensive library of material as well that will open up a lot of things to folks, because I've already started reading some of the stuff that was on Larry's list, and it's stuff that we want to incorporate into the educational component.
Well,
And this is a different question that's not on here, but if will y'all at some point compile that on and let students that have attended after so many years have access to that online by chance, or in a private?
That is one of the
that's one of
things
the
that we are
plans.
working on right now.
That's one of
I
the
think
plans.
that's a great idea.
Well, and to Scott, to go on to add on to what Dave is saying, past courses we've had Dr. Carolyn Wilkins, not Wilkinson, right? Dave Wilkins. She came and spoke to us. She did the reconstruction of Saint Nicholas's face, and we've had actual people come in from Italy before and actually bring some of the bones of Saint Nicholas to the classes. We have. We have a great movie night program too that comes on afterwards. But we also have had people come in and do makeup. We've had them do improv. We've had them do just other things that you would just do on Santa's, about the suits and different things. So we not only do with the historical aspect and with that spiritual side, but we get into the actual being Santa as well.
We had a movie producer come in and talk to us about how you present yourself and how to show yourself to the camera. So there's more than just the history. It's how to make yourself better all the way around.
Yeah, and the movie producer, he was really good. He taught you how to look at the camera, and you know how we've always told, don't turn your back to the camera. Well, I learned one thing from him: it depends on the situation.
So we've talked a little bit about some of this idea, but what do you hope students will walk away with after attending the Revived Institute?
I hope they walk away with a profound impact, that they are armed with a great amount of knowledge. They have a inner calm about themselves to be able to go out and talk about the real meaning of Christmas, the real being of Christmas, the historical truth to Christmas. Just as an example, this year I performed not in Central Texas, but in Central Florida. And I had two gentlemen come up to me at the end of the night, and they said they had driven all the way from Orlando, which was about an hour and a half drive, because they just had this feeling they need to come up to where our venue was. And they were very disheartened, and they were a Catholic priest and a deacon, and they just felt that they had been called to come up. And they came in and they started talking about, the troubles that they were having, with faith and within their parish. And we started talking about the true St. Nicholas and what that meant, and how we have to get people to delve into that, rather than Santa being the one that says, I'm going to be the one that controls all your giving, versus that's not where it comes from.
Right.
And they walked away being touched, being refreshed, being renewed, and new hope of what Christmas meant, and that there were people out there that understood. And so I think if they come away with the ability to do that and have the confidence and faith to do it, they will have a much greater impact on everybody around them.
Right. And I want people to realize that that it's a vocation, that it's a calling, that it's a mission, and that we influence so many people. When you have that child or that parent come up to you, there's so much that you can do that can influence their lives. And just as a Santa, what you do to influence somebody is a lot of times not even known till later, or you may never know. But that's what Santa does, and that's what we're wanting to get through to people, that this training of the St. Nicholas Institute will get you ready to answer some of those questions, where we can go and look at it as a mission of hope, a mission of love, a mission of fellowship, and that it is a vocation. It's not just, go out here to Party City. Well, Party City's not in existence anymore, or Amazon or whoever, and buy a Santa suit and put it on. That it is an actual vocation.
How do you balance the historical and the spiritual roots of St. Nicholas with the modern expectations of the professional Santa? It's probably a little tough, right?
Well, it's a tough line to walk, but
It can be done.
if we take the root of the modern Santa, happy, unconditional loving, brings joy, you can do that knowing that St. Nicholas did most of his work in silence and in secret. You can speak volumes with how you carry yourself, how you behave out in public, and can be that joyous example of St. Nicholas every single day without wearing red, without saying, look at me, I'm Santa. It's that quiet confidence that you carry every day that is what I think people are really yearning for ultimately, because we're in an era now where everyone is doing all this AI stuff, and we're taking away the uniqueness of who and what we are and what we bring to the table. And I think by attending the St. Nicholas Institute, you're going to come away with something much more than AI will ever be able to reproduce.
Agree.
Or be able to make honest.
Yep.
That's
And
a
you
very
have to
good
look
point.
at you have to look at our core values too. We have Nicholas as our model. This is the inspired by the selflessness of Saint Nicholas and what he did. Saint Nicholas of Myra, it's a noble tradition of where he gave the gold coins. He gave other things. He gave everything he had, he gave away to help the poor. We have an openness to the Christmas spirit. We see the Christmas spirit and the Holy Spirit as one and the same spirit, that it's open to the same type of things. We see that experiencing compassion, that's part of the spiritual succession of St. Nicholas. We exercise a special compassion for the poor and for the poverty, for the orphans, and for the sick. And then our last thing is love for children, whether we're dressed, as Dave said, whether we're dressed in the guise of St. Nicholas or whether we're dressed like we are here on this camera. We treat every child, no matter what the age of child, whether they're 0 to 101 or older, we treat them all with the same integrity, sensitive, and unconditional love that was characterized by St. Nicholas. And so these are things that we want people to come away with from the St. Nicholas Institute, that those are the things we look forward to and the things that we value.
Jim, you and I talked some at North Pole Cornerstones, and you told me, I think you were getting ready to go and meet with Dave and some others, and I was excited to hear what this was going to be about, and I'm even more excited now. So here's the big question. When can we expect this to be up and running, and when do you expect the first new session to be offered?
Dave, that's your question.
Well, first thing that we have to do is get the 501c3 finalized and up and running. And that is, I've got 3/4 of the work done on that. By the time we decided we're going to do this, the retreat center that we have always used was already booked. And so what we're looking at, to make a long story short, is 2027. And we look to being back in Livonia, Michigan at a wonderful retreat center. And I will tell you, the food there is phenomenal. So you don't have to go out and find something to eat. We all eat together.
And Scott, if you need a special diet, they will fix it for you there too.
Bacon and eggs, sausage.
Yep.
Good pork
roast
chop.
beef and mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying if you want to go kosher, Scott, they can fix it for you.
Yeah, I know.
But our goal is to be ready to roll out the first of next year with registration and all the information. Our committees hopefully will be fully engaged in everything that we're doing. And, we've been 1 month out from our meeting, and we've got a lot of work has already been done, and we've got a long ways to go. So we're excited about it. We're moving forward as fast as we can go, but we want to do it right, so that we set the table and set the foundation so that it will last for a good long time, that it doesn't rely on one individual. It relies on a community that cares about what we care about, and let it be here for generations of Christmas performers, Santas, Mrs. Clauses, elves, photographers, agents. All these folks have attended already. So that they have the opportunity to really delve into what it's really about and what it's really like. And hopefully they'll come away changed, and it will change how they deal with everybody and everything in their everyday life.
Well, we're honored, Jim and David, that y'all allowed us to bring you on to share this, because from being gone 3 years, people have asked, and I think it's a great thing y'all are doing. And we need to take a little break, so I didn't mean to get in there, but everyone stick around. Don't wander off too far, because we'll be right back in 90 seconds. So hang around, guys. We'll be right back. Angela?
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
All righty. Welcome back with our featured guests, Dave and Jim. Hey, the Stuff for Santa commercial. Remember to go to Stuff for Santa. And if you got an extra few bucks, you can throw to Spangle. You can donate on his website. It says donations to help them out getting Jetta back. We all love her. And she's an amazing woman, and she's an asset to our community. She really works hard. And if it wasn't for her, I think Spangle wouldn't get as much done, to be honest. And she's making some beautiful clothes as well, too. Is she not, Angela? All right. Well, all right. Well, will the Institute remain in Michigan, or will you be exploring new locations? I think we've touched on that. Let's move on to that.
So what kind of support do you think we should like to see from the Santa community?
Well, I would like to see people share the information that it's coming back and that they would explore the opportunity to attend. I also need, like I said, I'm still trying to put together roles from folks that attended because we've lost a lot of that information, and we want to be able to reach out to everyone that's attended in the past. So if someone is watching this or knows someone that attended, if they could get a hold of myself or Jim so we can get their contact information so we can get them more involved in what we're doing. We want people to know that it's open to all Christmas performers. It doesn't matter who you are, what your role is, even the handlers. You don't have to be a Mrs. Claus. You may be a handler and are handling Santas. And you say, that would be good for you. Come and learn. We want people to understand that it's open to all religious backgrounds. All right. Anyone of any faith or no faith is welcome to attend. Yep. And it's a great opportunity to spend time in the calm before the storm of our season, because we all know that it gets really hectic during that 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, whatever we're contracted for. And I can tell you it is a perfect setting to get your mind, body, and spirit right before you go into the craziness that is our season.
So how can Santas and Mrs. Clauses and other Christmas performers stay informed or get involved? And what's the best way to contact you guys?
Well, our website is still up and running, which is the St. Nicholas Institute. And we are getting ready to launch a Facebook page that is coming in the very near future. And then my contact is heysantaman@gmail.com.
Mine is the real
not H-A-Y, I'm not a horse.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave. Say it again.
heysantaman.com. That's the easiest way to get me on email.
And mine is the real Santa Claus 0280 at Gmail. And I would like to say at this time, I got to give Dave all the credit. Dave is taking on a gargantuan task. I am here to support him, but I am not the only one that is supporting him. We have all our brothers and everybody else from the St. Nicholas Institute that's supporting him. And Dave, I'll tell you right here on this show, you're doing a fantastic job. And again, any way I can support you, that's what I'm here for.
Well,
Well,
Jim,
all of
you've
us
done a
at
lot
TNL,
to
Dave,
give
are
me
behind you
clues and
too,
tips
or
on
else
things
we
you
wouldn't have
know.
brought you
So
here.
that's thank you as well.
Well, you've both been mentors to many of our community. What advice would each of you give to others about knowing and portraying St. Nicholas, and what excites you the most about the St. Nicholas Institute's future?
Well, for me, understand no matter where you go, what you do, people are watching. Are you showing them the true heart and being of Santa, St. Nicholas, every single day? We don't have to wear red for them to know who we are.
Right.
All right. The thing that I'm excited about with St. Nicholas Institute is we get to bring this information to so many more. And by the fact that we're going to hopefully expand to numerous sites to give more people an opportunity, because I know Detroit is a long ways to go for some people, especially if you live out west. And so hopefully we're going to bring more to more people and we'll have a greater impact on our community as a whole.
Right.
Let's go
Would
ahead and
you-
get this one comment real quick, if y'all don't mind. It's from Deanna. It says, you mentioned SNL, or I'm sorry, SNI is a retreat. Can you talk more about the retreat side of the schedule and how many days it will be?
Okay, traditionally we would arrive in Detroit at early afternoon, and then we would start with all of us gathering in the main room and chatting until our dinner. We had dinner, and then we went into the conference room and we had our meeting. We would then have an evening uh, prayer session in the chapel, and then we would be free for the rest of the evening. And we all had our own rooms that were on site. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. You're on site. And then we would finish with lunch on Thursday. Take a group picture after lunch, and then people were free to go wherever they were going to go, whether it be um, to up to Bronner's and Frankenmuth, or go up to uh, Rooftop Landing Reindeer, or go over to the Steam Engine Institute, or even go to the other school that's in Michigan, usually following the St. Nicholas Institute. So the retreat is you show up, you're there, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to find food, you don't have to worry about your lodging. You've got everything you need in one spot. Um,
And I would like to add, they mentioned the chapel. The chapel is there. We do open in the mornings with a chapel service, and we close in the evening with a chapel service. But it is not mandatory that you go, but it is highly encouraged because that feeds the spiritual need for Santa Claus, for St. Nicholas.
and the other thing is we have 15 acres of wooded land to walk around that is beautifully pathed and is,
It's fenced and secure.
yes, it's a beautiful, lovely area.
Uh, well,
So hopefully
Angela,
that answers the question about retreat.
yes, absolutely. And it sounds like it would be very relaxing and educational and very inspirational as well. So I'm excited to come with you, Jim.
Well, one of the things I always like to do is, again, back to Larry Trover, who is our librarian. Larry has those books, and we do have an extensive library. I check a book out, and I take it back to my room, and I sit there and read about Saint Nicholas. And Larry has lots of books in the library, and I will never read them all, but I'm sure trying.
And we have the lounge area where people go and chat and share, and it's amazing. And all the coffee you can drink, and all the hot
Lots
cocoa
of
you can drink,
good coffee.
and good
Good
hot
coffee.
cocoa, and a cocoa bar.
That's nice. Well, if you don't mind, Angela, would you remind everybody with the link to help Home is with Spangle bring Georgetta home?
Yes.
They're the two clowns. But we're ready for Georgetta to come home. We're tired of dealing with Spangle, if you want to be honest. I must talk to him 5, 6, 7 times a day sometimes. So, he misses her, and I just hope he gets this worked out and he gets home.
And back to earlier, I was muted. You're talking about the clothes that she makes. She makes really, really good quality clothes. She's made my dad several shirts, and they're nice, really nice.
So Georgetta's definitely come in and greets us with open arms in the Christmas community, and she just hopped right in with Spangle, and they make a great couple, and it's just they love each other so much. She needs to be back here. Spangle's driving me nuts. So Georgetta, come home, please. You're watching.
We miss you, Jetta. We really do.
Okay.
All
I
right,
see. I'm sorry.
let's go back here.
I see another question out there that says, as a chaplain myself and a female Santa, would I be allowed to attend the Institute? Of course. We would love to have you.
Not only allowed, encouraged.
Let's get this one here too. This one was from Bill Coates. He is in Central Texas, or the southern, down near Waco, I think. He wants to know where in Central Texas you're from, Dave.
I currently live Georgetown.
Georgetown. All right. Was there another question? I think
Kane said hello, Santa Jim and Santa Dave.
Mel,
Hello back.
Mel says, thank you for helping Spangle. Spangle, the clown, always helps us, and indeed he does.
That's for sure.
And she also says, thanks, I appreciate that so much, Dave. Okay. Carry on. Where are we at now?
All right. So, we were
Any other questions?
We were going to go to viewer questions. I think we just hit those. Are there any others that you had starred, Angela?
Not at the moment. I don't believe. Let me go back.
Did we lose Dave?
Did they run away?
Well, Dave is having computer problems, so he may have dropped off.
This isn't a question. This is just a comment. I'll pull it up here from Kane. Hello, all from Alabama. Hey, Angela and Scott and whoever else is showing up, sending big prayers and safe travels for Spangle and Bob and Carol and their journeys this week. And last I checked, my mom and dad were almost to Clare, Michigan. They were like literally maybe 20 minutes away, so they may be there by now.
Yeah,
Well,
I spoke to them earlier and tried to help them on some of the highways. Some of the highways were crazy up there.
I saw that statement from Alabama. I was wondering where in Alabama, because that is my home state. I was born and raised in Alabama.
Oh, Kane. I don't know where at in Alabama Kane is from.
Jim, Deanna Golden had asked, is there a maximum class size to keep the conversations and fellowship close?
Yes. We have set it, used to it was 25. We have upped it now to 30. So, and that doesn't count the instructors. That just counts the people who are in attendance. And the reason being is it's not that we don't want more people to go, but we want to keep it manageable, and we want to keep it where it is that retreat feeling where you've got the time to sit and reflect. And you can go to the garden and you can sit. If you want to go to the chapel, you can. Like we said, it's not mandatory, but it is. It's encouraged. So yes, we're keeping it at 30 people. Is that not correct, Dave?
That is correct. Sorry about that. We had a little power outage.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Oh well, Rob, I think you've got the next one.
All right, so we want to say thank you to all of our contributors to the TNL family. Angela, roll them beautiful things.
Oh, real quick. Kane is from
Roll Tide, Mr. Langley.
Roll Tide. I thought he was putting where he was from. Okay.
Well, see, I went to school at Auburn, so he and I are already at ends.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I know Mark Walker that's watching too. He's from Alabama. Okay, let's roll our king, risk, and caboots and thermopyr.
And to answer his question, he says Clay County. I'm originally from Cleburne County, so we're neighbors.
There you go. All right, go ahead and roll those, Angela.
All right, here we go.
Ho, 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 ho! Shop Thermo Apparel. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And for the coolest of cool Santas or Easter bunnies, remember Thermo Apparel.
Don't just be cool as an attitude. Keep cool, literally.
Thermo Apparel. Be cool.
Ho, 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 ho!
Made for me, and it works awesome for about 3 hours.
That's great. Hey, if you our viewers, if y'all will go out and just maybe go to our contributors Facebook page or something, and just say you saw them on TNL, and thank you for helping TNL succeed and continue on the air to bring you content each and every week. So, if you can reach out to some of those, Larry Talbert or Joey at Caboots or Priscilla and Therm Apparel.
No, that's Julia at Thermopyr.
Julia, yeah. So they're really been behind us, and they've supported us all along. So you just go out and tell them you saw them on this, and if you need any of their products, please reach out. And I think there's even a promo code for Thermopyr, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there?
10%, yes, when you mention TNL.
So anyhow, I guess, Angela, is it time to reveal the trivia?
It is time.
Okay, well, it's from schoolofsantas.com, stuffforsantas.com. The St. Nicholas Institute is an annual seminar and training program established to provide the ideals and example of St. Nicholas. Who was the founder? Angela, do we have a winner?
We do. It was Mr. Bill Coates.
Okay, Bill Coates got that, and the answer was
Yes.
Father Joseph Marquis. And Rob?
And for the bonus question, what year was the St. Nicholas Institute founded? Angela, who got that one right?
Well, okay, Deanna got it right, but we can't put Deanna's name on the wheel for NPC. I mean, that would be silly, wouldn't it? So the next person in line was Jerry Beavers, and he was watching on YouTube. Not Jerry,
cool.
Jeffrey, I'm sorry, Jeffrey Beavers.
Jeffrey, please subscribe and like us on there while you're on there, if you don't mind. We appreciate it, and congratulations. Your names will go in the hat for School of Santas and North Pole Cornerstones. Am I correct, Angela?
That's
on
correct.
The wheel, sorry, on the wheel.
Yes, on that.
Indiana concedes.
Deanna concedes. That's funny.
Well, and somebody mentioned that the Santa Walker said he was from Mobile.
Yes.
My parents met at Brookley Field in Mobile in World War II. And the other gentleman is correct. I am originally from Heflin, Alabama.
Well, Jim, I don't know if you realize this. I used to live in Theodore.
Yes, you and I have talked about that.
Okay.
And I coached at the University of Alabama one summer.
Where
Well,
do
there
y'all
we
think
go. We're all
you're born
connected
and
somewhere, aren't
raised?
we?
I drove through Alabama one time.
Well, I hope to move back there eventually.
Well, I guess, Angela, why don't you, do you have a Cherry Hill, the
I have a
video promo?
commercial. Yes, sir. Here we go.
All
All
right.
right.
Angie's Originals, custom Christmas attire since 2015. Your all-in-one wardrobe shop. Shop at angiesoriginals.com.
Well, Rob, what are your closing thoughts?
You know, this was a great show. Jim, Dave, I'm really excited about bringing back the St. Nicholas Institute, and I am definitely going to do everything I can to be at one of those events. That sounds like just a fantastic thing. I'm so glad you came on and shared it with us. Thank you so
Well,
much.
Rob, I drive up when I go, and I come right by your place on my way up.
Well, I'll be the one that looks like Santa Claus standing on the side of the road with a thumb out.
Well, I'll probably come to your place and meet him, and we'll all go together.
Sounds
That
good.
sounds good.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
meet you when you get there.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
you fly.
Yes.
I want to say a big thank you to Dave and Jim for coming on the show and sharing all of your expertise, your information, and the passion that you have. for the
Come
St.
join us. Come join us
Hey.
at St. Nicholas Institute. We'd love to have you.
well,
Can't wait.
my final thoughts, what Dave and Jim are doing isn't just administrative work, it's stewardship. They're preserving a legacy that shaped countless Santas and Mrs. Clauses, and they're ensuring that the heart of St. Nicholas continues to beat strongly in our community. It's a world that's always changing. It's easy to lose sight of the deeper meaning behind the red suit. But the St. Nicholas Institute has always reminded us that this calling is about compassion, service, and the joy of giving. David, Jim, thank you for stepping into this moment. Thank you for honoring Father Marquis, and thank you for helping carry forward a tradition that has touched so many lives. Thanks to the School of Santas.com, StuffForSanta.com, KingInsurance.com, NorthPoleCornerstones.com, SantaNana.com, NationWideSantas.com, Caboots.com, ThermApparel.com, Angie'sOriginals.com, CherryHillPrograms.com, Santa and Company LLC, and .com actually, SantaandCompany.com.
And thank you to Jessica Lamb, HolidayPhotoMagic.com, for being a contributor to the TNL network.
Well, tune in, kick up your heels, join in the fun for 2026, all powered by the TNL Network Productions.
Don't forget to watch all the TNL network productions. 2026 list of shows running at the end.
Tonight, sorry, Rob. Tonight, tell everyone good night, Rob.
Good night, Rob, and good night, Spangle, wherever you may be.
And Bob, good night. Safe travels to both of you. And Angela, as always, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Remember to join us for our next Tuesday night live show each week, 7 p.m. Central. Same Claus time, same Claus channel. To our listeners, stay tuned, stay inspired, and keep the spirit of Christmas alive in everything you do. We'll see you next time on Tuesday Night Live. Education and practice are the two most powerful weapons and tools which one can use to change performance and knowledge. Have a blessed week. Never stop learning. Hope to see you on Monday and right back here on Tuesday. Good night, all. Happy closing.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget to like on YouTube and subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys. See you next time.
Good night.
You.
Good night.
Hang on.